Hello everybody, my name is Megha Chheda and I'm so honored to be on this TEDx stage. A stage that represents transformation in so many ways and that gives me the opportunity to share with you what I have been through in my life and how I have risen from the very edge of darkness. But before I go a little further, let me share a few more details about you. Yes, currently I am Vice President Digital of a brand I'm pretty sure everybody is aware about, T-Series. And I have a very creatively satisfying but engaging job profile. And managing work, home, kids is quite a task. Yes, it looks vanilla, it looks beautiful. But it's taken a lot to have this version of me today. From the time I was born, my life has been like a sine theta graph. You know, peaks of happiness followed by lows filled with despair. The moment I was born, I was abandoned. You know, हम फिल्मों में दिखाते हैं, अरे मुबारक हो आपके घर लड़की पैदा हुई है. When my father heard this, he broke all relationships. And I mean plural. Not only did he leave a newly born child in lurch, but he broke the illusion of a happy married life for my mother. I have been bringing up myself with abandonment issues as well as the constant but irrational guilt of making my mother go through this endless challenges as a single parent. I survived childhood and thanks to my mother and grandmother. You know, to make me feel a little less in terms of my abandonment, they used to show me a photo and they used to say, you know what? Ye aapke papa hai. That photo is still embedded in my head as my father figure. But this fairy tale of my father came crashing down at a very young age of 7. When one of my cousins, casually passing by, said, "Ye to Nana ji hain, tumhare papa kahan hain?" You know, that was the biggest punch on my face. Because I realized that my father was alive. On top of that, he had visitation rights and stayed just 3.5 kilometers away from me and refused to see my face. At that young age, I had a very grim realization. It's easier to accept your parents' death than their rejection. And thereafter, I still continued writing expired in all my official documents and school forms. I was constantly trying to make myself believe that my expectations for my father had ended, just like the desire for him to see me had died. Circling back again to my pet name, the nickname I have, Lucky. I think my grandmother named me Lucky to validate the fact to the society that yes, she is lucky for the house. And of course lucky. Lucky because my mother escaped an oppressive marriage. Lucky that I am born a girl. But at that age I used to wonder, am I really that lucky? You know, my classmates had both their parents coming for PTA meetings or going for vacations to their father's hometown. And I don't know why men, fathers are so good at maths. They used to keep learning maths from their father. And I used to wonder, sitting at my window at my house and looking out with tears rolling down my cheeks and asking him, why didn't you give me a normal life? Why didn't you give me a normal family? Of course, today I laugh back thinking that what is normal? Normal is just a social construct. You know, as Morticia Adams' quote says, normalcy is an illusion. What may be normal to me may be absolutely insane for you. But yet, the desire to fit into a regular societal mold weighed me down completely. And that somewhere impacted my characteristic as a child. I was extremely underconfident, zero self-esteem, unable to talk, communicate. I used to shy away from people. The fear of anybody throwing the question of a father made me extremely introverted. To a point where I realized, what am I doing to myself? And at 13, I said, if I can't speak myself, let my actions speak. And I channelized my energies into my studies. I started focusing on them. I started working on my strengths. And you know, my grandmother, she's just an 8th pass lady from a Hindi medium school from Peshawar. She held my hand and said, we'll do it together. My mom's economical background wasn't strong enough because she was trying to make ends meet for the 3 of us. So I had no tuitions. And I passed my 10th grade with a respectable 85% in the year 1995, and I proudly say so. But that was my first accomplishment where I felt great about myself. Good, I'm doing something. But I don't think the society is that encouraging. They have many questions in mind. They came up with questions like, who's going to look after her? She's growing. She's a 15-year-old young girl. You don't have a father. Who's going to plan her career? And to escape all these psychological traps, I said, let me build on my skill sets. If studies is my one strength, dance was my passion. So I started Indian classical dancing. But that passion also came to a standstill. And you know why? Because of my psychological baggage that I was holding. The proximity of a male teacher made me feel absolutely uncomfortable. Although the poor gentleman was absolutely honorable, but my psychological baggage made me feel threatened and uncomfortable. And I preferred giving up my passion rather than having a proximity of a man near me. I can also say because I've been in an all-girls school and my family is only women-centric. So my grandmother had 3 daughters had 5 daughters. Oh my God, people used to say, आपके घर में दोष है. You know, आपको पुत्र पूजा करनी चाहिए. To which she used to say, हमारे घर में वरदान है, यहाँ लक्ष्मी का वास है. But you know, this dysfunctional dynamics of a male presence has crushed yet another important milestone of my life. I tried giving acting a shot, yes. My mother felt I'm good at performing arts, and secondly, I felt she wanted me to fulfill her unrequited dream. But it proved to be a complete disaster. I feel I was too young, 1. 2, my father was from the same industry. It kept being thrown back at my face. 3, I was absolutely underconfident, wasn't able to look at camera, speak, communicate. And 4th, of course, for 2 women trying to survive and creatively fulfill their passion in an industry without a male presence are acceptable to many. So at 17, I, after the release of one film, left my career, dropped out of college, was at a path where there was only complete darkness for me. I couldn't even meet a stranger's eye. I felt failed, I felt useless. And for days, I was alone and isolated. People came up with theories. She's possessed, or there's something done on her. Thankfully, my mother came to the conclusion that this is mental disorder. Depression was the diagnosis. At that point again, the second most important thing I took was I refused to surrender to this scenario. I sought help. I went for counseling. The counselor gave me a great advice at that point, of course, I felt. He said, get her married. You know, she's 18, she'll have a family, she'll overcome the baggage, she'll have a normal life. Okay. But I said, I'll complete my graduation, and I topped Maharashtra board. And at the age of 23, I got married. And within a year, I had my first baby. I was so eager that first baby, Angel, was born at 24. And with the high of having and becoming a mother, I think postpartum depression is another big thing that hits you. And when that hits you, it can hit you to a point of no return. And my fragile health definitely took a toss. That was the second time I took counseling. And this time my therapist said something totally out of the box. She said, you know what, Megha, you're running from your fears. Go and face them. Go and meet your father. Okay. I said, now first I'll have to become Sherlock because I need to figure where he is. So I went tracking him down, and I reached outside his door without his knowledge and rang the bell. Can I be honest? I was so unhappy looking at him. He was married with 2 children, and let me tell you, he got 2 twins, sons. And I felt so bad. I said, like, really? And I asked him, why did you do this to me? To which he had no answers. This question still remains unanswered. I thought that this would help me mend my mental state, but it caused further chaos. And it took a complete toll on my marriage. You know, I thought I'd marry because I needed an anchor. I needed a family. I needed someone behind my back. But I didn't realize that it isn't love that's important in a relationship only. You need to first love yourself. You know, the solutions are not outside, they are within. And I think after 10 years, 2 daughters, I realized that, and we had a divorce. And there I was at 31, once again, the dark hole before me. I'm standing with 2 children, 1 graduation degree, 0 professional experience, nothing. But I said I will dare to walk a path less traveled. And I brushed aside my ego. And I said, let me pursue my passion, because it's only my passion today that will make me feel good about me. And I joined the media industry as an intern at 31 with a stipend of 16,000. You know, my professional life has been a roller coaster drive for me. At 31, I was with my colleagues who were 20 years, pass outs from BMM. That was the first time I knew what is mass media course. I was like, okay. My people who I was reporting to were probably younger than me. My peers had grown up the ladder. But I took this as an opportunity. And it has only been hard work and dedication and determination to achieve this for myself that has been driving me throughout. I'll give you one incident. I joined a company as an assistant creative. And for 2 years, I worked in that company. I may have lacked in skill, but never in will. It's my will that transformed my position in that same company, on that same show, as the head. And the day when my credit was from the backslide pushed to the front was the day I said I have arrived. Of course, I have made mistakes, professionally, personally. And I always believe that mistakes do not define us. It only refines us. It's okay to make mistakes. Today, you know, I'm still hurdled by a lot of obstacles, and I go back to my same window where I used to sit earlier. This time it's with a smile. And I say, now I know why you didn't make me normal, because you made me special. I've never been a conventional woman. I've taken all wacky decisions. There are last 2 decisions which I'd like to share with you. So I've got married again. Yes. And it's been 6 years I've married Bhavin. And who gets the privilege of having your children stand in your marriage photograph? I did. And I'm so blessed that my children have supported me through this journey. And today we are a family of 5 with 3 surnames. Okay. I take my husband's. Kids take their fathers, my mother takes the maiden. The problem is we don't have a nameplate. So, because we respect each other's identities, and I think it's very important that you should also respect your identity. Nothing makes me stop. I'm 43, and at 40, I decided I will start studying. I resumed my education 20 years later. And why did I do this? I didn't do this for any kind of promotional skills or any growth. I did it for my own satisfaction. Like I said, the anchor is within. And I can proudly say today, 2 years down the line, I'm a master's in marketing. And this is purely to inspire myself. I keep making my own benchmarks, and I hope I inspire my kids as well. I've reached a happy equilibrium. I'm personally growing, professionally evolving. I have set my own benchmarks. Today when I was coming, you know, I remembered the time where I couldn't even meet a stranger's eye. And here I am talking to a room full of people. I think I need a bat. I've been the primary agent of my change. And the only suggestion I can give is, it's only you and you who can hold yourself back or roar into the skies. It's okay to have pain, it's okay to fail, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's definitely okay to hit rock bottom. But what's not okay is to be there. Life is too beautiful. So please love it. And I'll come back again to my beautiful name, Lucky. I feel I've justified my name, and I'm hoping that I've convinced you for the same. Thank you.